final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Ready? 60 outlaw. 56. Here we go.
On first down, Akers. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Looking to throw. Nix. He'll buy some time right. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete.
Here we go.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
36 yards on the play. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. got to get that changed around. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down, Jackson. And it's complete. Henry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Jackson from the shotgun. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
Here's a hush indeed. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Back to throw. Nix. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing on first down. Nix. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd down, Akers. And he'll take this one down to the 36. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. They'll run on first down. It's McGee, and they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tough rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Get a little
closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And he whips that one incomplete there. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll find Taylor. That's complete. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd get a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
It's a gain of 10, and a Bengal 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down now, Akers. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st, just a gain of 1 there.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
From the 38, Jackson. He's able to find Wallace. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he would then go to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Mike 29. What we got? What we got? What we got?
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Complete to right. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown.
Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I took off, ooh, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action. We welcome in our broadcast team.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Set 90 Wolf.
On first down, Akers, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Here's second and 8. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. A look at the numbers for Ross from last week. 5 catches, 123 yards.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now the extra point.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Point after here coming up. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
They go play action now. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Nix. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
We're playing to win. Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series Everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And to give this time to the tailback. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep 3rd position and makes the interception.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down. On 1st and 10, Nix. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Nix. He's going to have the hook up to Ross.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Bengals.
On the set. Mike 56. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
They'll run on 1st down. Akers slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
70, Indy. 56 to Mike, 56, go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nix, and that is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Nix. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jay Sternberger, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
He's got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Let's go, baby.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
A big play there for the Bengals. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They go play action here on 1st down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batting down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17 to 3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course they did.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He completes it to Henry. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And again this time to the tailback. And able to work his way down to the 16. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Akers, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Ready? 56. Leo.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Back to throw. Nix. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. The Ravens on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, Jackson got him in. It's Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will close the gap down to 14. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
50, plant. Hey, Haywood. Switch up. Spot.
From the gun, Nix. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
70, Indy.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Nix. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Off play action. Nix. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Looking to throw. Nix. And that is going to be incomplete.
Let's go! Let's go!
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. David Moore, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Titans locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Back to throw. Nix. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 3. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Nix. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line. 2nd and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the... And he'll get in! Touchdown, Baltimore! A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the 1st half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
On 1st down, Nix. He's going deep for Brown. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Nix sliding out of the pocket. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe it'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. Nix. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. This Ravens offense heads back out there led by Lamar Jackson. And maybe he's starting. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson and caught by Henry. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's able to find Wallace. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Jackson, this will be caught just inside the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. So 2nd and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. Second down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now this offense about ready to take over again. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Down to throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's 2nd and 8. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Back to throw. Nix. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Looking to throw. Nix. Looking right sideline. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Akers. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Ravens on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We got this.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs and mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield to get your team in a position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. Jackson on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, and that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 43. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you play really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He's back to throw.
Hard to get. I like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
A line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And it's caught. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Here we go on 4th down. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. In the final minute, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To run as he's up past the 35-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ready up. Mark 57. And let's get this. Ready.
To throw on 2nd down. Nix. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this is going to be caught. He got it. It's a touchdown, and forget overtime. Barring a miracle, they're going to win this thing in regulation. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Cincinnati, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit. all the way to the end. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot, and you know